Good Monday morning. It's good to be with you again. I hope you had a wonderful week. A few months back, I had the radio on, talk radio, and in the matter of 10 minutes or so, I felt my pulse increasing, my heart racing, and I was convinced by the time he was done that I needed to go take all my money out of the bank, use most of it to buy gold, stuff the rest under my mattress, and get a whole bunch of prepackaged food to provide for me and my family for a year. And needless to say, my heart rate had increased exponentially, and my anxiety level was about to send me to McDonald's for a very large Coca-Cola. And in the middle of all of this pulse-racing, fear-driven information, I realized what was happening in my heart, because through the years, I've really tried to learn to be a student of my heart. It's a byproduct of spending years with a very shut down heart that needed to be reclaimed, as we talked about last week. And one of the things that it was shut down to in such an extreme measure was fear. And so now, anytime I feel that pulse racing anxiety level rise, I will stop and ask the Lord what He's asking of me, and making sure that I'm being directed by Him instead of driven by fear. And so I did. On the windy back road, as I'm driving, I settled my heart and my spirit, and I asked the Lord, I said, okay, Lord, I don't know what times are facing us. I have no idea, but you do. So what are you asking of me? What are you asking for me to do in this season? And about that time, a bird flew down, hit the front of my bumper. I saw these feathers fly, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I just hit Tweety. And I look back in my rearview mirror and I see Tweety, and he's flapping his wings, and all of a sudden he just takes off back to flight. And as soon as he did, and I realized Tweety's not dead, this passage of scripture comes to my mind. Matthew 10, verse 29. Are not two little sparrows sold for a penny? Now remember, I've just asked the Lord, what are you asking of me to do in this season? I hit Tweety, and the scripture comes to my heart. Are not two little sparrows sold for a penny? And yet not one of them will fall to the ground without your Father's leave and notice. But even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear not then. You are of more value than many sparrows. And I was like, I hear you. I'm not to fear, because you've got the hairs of my head numbered. And you just saw what happened to Tweety, and so I am confident that you have me. Friends, I don't know what this next season holds for us as a nation, as individuals, for our story as a whole, or for the individual piece of our lives. I can tell you this, I'm not placing my trust in an election and a new president, but I'm placing my trust in this promise that not one sparrow falls from the sky, that God, the creator of heaven and earth, does not take notice of. And yet, we are of more value than many sparrows. May fear not rule our heart. In fact, may we fear not, knowing that our Father in heaven, who watches sparrows, is more than capable of taking care of you and I.